show the sport
he was respectful.
The respect it deserves. It's the guys like, Jose Canseco and, even like a Chuck Zito who's calling out the UFC champs. It's like they're being
Herschel's Herschel Walker, very humble. We had him on the air, and I got a whole new sense of respect for the guy. Very humble. He said many times, "Hey, listen, I'm just doing what my trainer says. I'll continue if he says I'm good enough." Didn't call anybody out. Didn't call anybody a clown. I mean, I thought he was very respectful. That's what makes him so cool.
Yeah, but I think Rob brings up a good point. It's like you've got all these guys that go, "Oh, yeah, I could do it. And they say they've been trained. They're thinking about fighting. They're thinking about doing this, thinking about doing that. They never do. It's been years these people have been talking about doing it. Yeah. Either do it or don't do it. But don't tease us until you're 70.
Or they call out the champs.
Now, who's done that?
I remember a couple years ago, Chuck Zito was calling out Randy Couture and Tito and saying for the right money he'd fight them. What? Who's going to give you the right money to fight Randy Couture?
Well, didn't Canseco try to fight? He got caught wasn't that real? Was that boxing?
That was boxing.
He fought Vicekahima.
He got beat by Vicekahima.
A 5'6" guy,
half his size.
And he tied Danny Bonaducci. He fought Danny Bonaducci to a draw.
Both are not 5'6".
And then he fought Hong Man Choi. The big Asian guy, Hong Man Choi, who's 7'2". In the silliest match I've ever seen.
Didn't he just tap out from strikes or something?
Whatever happened to that guy that was, I don't know if he was MMA or he was a boxer or he's a tough guy, but he was a black guy in China or Japan named Sapp. Whatever happened to
Bob Sapp? Bob Sapp is like Michael Jordan in Japan. They love the guy. He makes millions a year in endorsements.
He's with K1, right?
I think he is.
Is he a formidable opponent for anybody, or is he just Bob Sapp?
He's all show no go.
Yeah, now he's like he gets gassed now in no time.
Remember for the longest time we were going for the butterbean phenomenon. Remember that, Brent?
Oh my God!
He's the first MMA fighter I've ever seen cry in the ring from a punch.
What?
Yeah, when Mirko Cro Cop broke his cheekbone, he started crying.
Todd out of South Florida. A lot of good questions for if you got any MMA questions, ask Rob Kahn. He's the owner of Gracie Tampa. He's a black belt in Gracie and one of the very few of those. So, Todd, you got a question for Rob. Go ahead.
Yeah, what's up, guys? Great show, by the way, Bubba. First time calling.
Thank you.
Just wanted to say, man, what about Cain Velasquez? I mean, you guys haven't even mentioned this guy. I mean, you have nothing to say about him?
He's a stud. He's absolutely a stud.
He's a badass. I mean, two-time All-American. I mean, I think Dana White already said that he's got the next. If whoever wins Mir Carwin can't fight, he's in there. He's got the fight against Lesnar. I mean, I just love the guy, man. He's undefeated. He just destroyed Nicaragua.
What way are we talking about? What way are we talking about?
He's a heavyweight. I think the only knock on Velasquez is not his skill, his work ethic. He's a stud, no doubt. He's just undersized.
Nobody knows him. I know that.
I think he's just undersized. He's going to be undersized.
He's not big enough, they say.
He's going to be undersized against those two guys. I think that's really the only knock on him.
How big is he? What's he walk around?
He's probably like a 225, 230 type of guy.
Right.
He should be a light heavy.
Right. And I just think the guy is absolutely a stud, but he should probably go to light heavy like Mike
Charles,
said.
you're on with Rob Kahn. Go ahead.
What's going on, Rob, man? Tons of respect for what you're about to, and good morning to the morning show. Hey, man, whatever happened to Tim Sylvia or Andre Arlovsky? Whatever happened to both them two, and if they were still fighting in the UFC, what would they stand a chance against?
Well, I think Tim has a separation anxiety from his belt because he used to sleep. He used to take it everywhere he went in life, so he's probably going through rehab right now on that deal.
I'm not sure where Tim Sylvia is, but hopefully he stays there.
And Arlovsky, didn't he get shredded by Fedor?
Arlovsky got knocked cold in midair by Fedor in his last fight. He was throwing a flying knee, and Fedor caught him on the chin.
So if there's one division that Dana really, and it's always it's the division that's hurting in regular boxing now, and it's a division that is always hurting because a good big guy is hard to find. Right now, Dana has a little bit of a problem at heavyweight because there's just not a lot of formidable opponents right now, is there?
No, there really isn't. It's probably as good as it's been in a long time, and it's still not that great.
How about 205? Whose role is that? Is that still Forrest and the kid from Michigan State?
No, it's Lyoto Machida is the champ, and he's fighting a very tough guy in Shogun. They actually just fought, and a lot of people think that Shogun was robbed in the decision, so they made an immediate rematch.
Shogun's a tough fighter.
Richard out of Miami. Go ahead, you're on with Rob Kahn.
Hey, what's up, Bubba?
Go ahead, sir.
Hey, what's up, Bob? Hey, I was calling, man, to see what you thought about the new Ultimate Fighter, Chuck and Tito again. Isn't that a little waste of time, man? Chuck has destroyed him twice.
I agree. Dana's a brilliant marketer, but I'm not sure what they're doing with this whole.
Well, it's like Tito got back on the good foot. Dana hated Tito for the longest time, and then and now they're back on the good foot. I don't know.
Well, let's face it. There's not a lot of guys,
not a lot of personality
with name value in the UFC. So like last season, they hung it all on having Kimbo Slice in there, and guys like Marcus Jones, and that worked out great. But this year, there's not that gimmick. They don't have any of those kind of fighters, so they've got to find something to give appeal to mainstream, which would be Chuck and
right.
But they've done 10 seasons of the same thing. It's like I wish they would do something else.
Yeah, I have no interest in seeing that fight again, and I really think a lot of it has to do with Dana's relationship with Chuck, and I think Chuck wants to keep fighting, and I think Dana wants to appease him, but also keep him safe.
Steve out of Lakeland, hi, go ahead.
Hey, Bubba, thanks for taking my call.
Thank you, buddy.
Listen, I had a quick question for Rob. Actually, two. One about what he thinks about the 113 UFC 113 between Machida and Shogun, and also I heard Kimbo's fighting that one. I want to know what his take was on that, and also about I was going on his website and seeing that he had a week free trial.
Yep.
To join his gym. I was just curious about that.
Yep, come on by anytime. Take a free week.
A free week?
Yep, everybody gets a free week.
If you're not killed and you have and you have a separated shoulder.
If you want to come back, you can. It's
He didn't have a lot of recomebacks on that deal. I'll give you a free week. You always. That's not a special promotion. You always have a free week.
I always have a free week. I don't want to. I want.
So don't come in, and I'm not
going
to take your money. Come in for a week, and if you like it, we'll talk.
Exactly right. Come in, check out the environment, check out the level of instruction. And
let me ask you a question, okay? Let me just say you got a guy like it's somewhat athletic. Maybe he's a little bit older guy. He doesn't want to get in there. He didn't want to be the next Marcus Allen or Marcus Jones or anything like that. He just wants to be a guy and just wants to kind of be a little bit tougher and get in shape. Are the guys like Monster Lobster and all those guys that know what they're doing going to come around and stretch him and clown him?
No. Most of my business is people who just want to get in shape. People who want
to learn a little bit more about it and like be able to if something would happen to be able to not be a pussy.
Exactly right. Now, if you have aspirations for fighting, we'll let you into the animal cage. But for the most part, 90% of my business is people self-defense.
Let's say I got a guy like Monster Lobster and he's like doing something beside me, and is he going to make fun of me? Is he going to is he going to try to kick my ass?
It never happens. It really doesn't. Actually, you end up having the guys that have been there for a while. They always help out the people that don't really understand what they're doing.
Like when I wrestled in high school, it was like the underclassmen were always relying on the upperclassmen. It was underwritten rule. You had to help the guy, and because you were always trying to get the guy to stick with it because everybody always quitted. So if the coach, Doug Hutzel was his name, he was like a two-timer out of Wisconsin. If he ever caught an upperclassman stretching or being mean, you would have to go wrestle him for the day.
Yeah.
So is it kind of like that there?
It's actually exactly like that.
So if somebody's a dick to one of the new guys, they have to go in the animal cage with you?
Yes.
Oh, there you go.
Yes.
I'd almost tell on a guy just to get. I say, man, Mr. Kahn, that guy was screwing with me. I would tell on Alan. Be like, you see that guy over there?
Well, don't play Alan. You gotta tell Alan to go half speed sometimes because he.
Yeah,
you got me a couple times with some rib shots back in the day.
Yeah, why are you so mean, Alan? Why you try to pick on people all the time?
During the regular classes,
you guys pick on me here. I get to pick on you there.
Yeah, you did.
During the regular classes, if any of the pro fighters know that when they're in there to help. The pro fighters have their own time of training, and
Now, do the pro fighters show up though during the amateurs to help?
Oh, all the time. I mean, they're always in there.
Kyle out of Spring Hill. Kyle, hi.
Hey, Bubba, how's it going?
Good, sir.
How you doing?
Phone lines are packed today.
My question is, Anderson Silva. Do you see anybody beating him at 185, or do you see him going up and maybe fighting Lito and trying to take that belt too?
Nobody will beat him at 185 that I could possibly see, but they won't fight. Machida and Anderson have already publicly stated they'll never fight.
Why?
They're good friends and training partners.
That's sort of ridiculous to me, that whole concept.
Well, I get it.
The money's there.
Well, the money is there.
I mean, everybody's got a price. Maybe that's just a negotiating ploy.